Hello friends, welcome to CrackGate CSE, and in this series of algorithm, our today's topic is 0 by 1 knapsack problem. So this problem can be solved using the dynamic programming approach. So this is one of the application of dynamic programming, right? So before starting this video, I would like to request you all, if you have not subscribed the channel till now, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you can get an update whenever I am uploading any new video. So you might have remembered that in the greedy approach, in the greedy chapter, I already discussed a problem which is known as fractional knapsack problem. So the difference between that particular fractional knapsack problem and this 0 by 1 knapsack problem is that here the items cannot be broken, but in fractional knapsack it was allowed to take some part of the item. That means we can take some fraction of that item. That's why that was known as fractional knapsack. But here either we have to take the item completely or we have to leave the item completely. That means we are not allowed to broke or take the fraction of that particular item. So that's why it is known as 0 by 1. 0 means either you leave it, 1 means either you take it, right? So if you solve this 0 1 by knapsack using the greedy approach, it may give incorrect result, right? So this is what I written here. Now let's try to understand that what can happen if we solve it using the greedy approach. So this is a particular example I am having, and this M is nothing but the bag capacity. So M is 10, capacity is 10, N is 3. 3 is number of objects. So I am having objects, profits and weight. So these are the information. So if I try to solve it using the greedy approach, what should I do? First of all, I need to find out the profit upon weight for all these three, right? So if I find out the profit by weight ratio for the object 1, it will be nothing but 11.6. For object 2, 110 divided by 7 will be 15.1, I think. And for object 3, 50 by 4 will be 12.5. So first of all, we need to find out those. If we are applying it using the greedy approach, then we'll be starting from the maximum weight. So if I take this particular weight, then the profit will be 110, which will be added. Next we have to find out the 3, 2. That means the weight is 3. So this is M, this is N. So weight is 3. Now as I took this particular object 2, so N is 2. So now I will be applying on object 1 and object 3. But here you can see that the object 1 and object 3 weight is more than the capacity of bag. That means the output which can be identified using the greedy approach is nothing but 110. But whether this is the correct answer for this, now let's try to find out using the manual approach. So why I am using dynamic programming approach here? Because in dynamic programming approach we will try to find out all the possible solutions which exist for a particular problem. So here I am having 3 particular objects, right? Like object 1, object 2 and object 3. Let me consider a case where I am not taking any object. 0 means I am not taking any object. In that case the profit will be 0. Similarly, if I put 0 0 1, that means I am taking the third object only. In that case the profit will be 50. Similarly 0 1 0, then the profit will be 110. Similarly 1 0 0, for 1 0 0 the profit will be 70, right? Similarly you can find out 101. So 101 will give you the profit of 70 plus 50, which is nothing but 120, right? Similarly 110, so 110 is not possible because 6 plus 7 is more than the capacity, so this is not possible. Similarly 111, this one is also not possible because the capacity is more, right? So this way we can find out, right? So how many observations we did? 7 observations, right? I think I might have skipped something. So this way you have to check all the possibilities, right? So if you check all the possibilities, so there is one possibility which has been left out over the here is which is 0 1 1. So if you take 0 1 1 also, then 7 plus 4 is more than 10, so this is also not allowed. So if you check by this manually, the maximum profit that I can get is 120, but here you can see that using the greedy approach you are getting the maximum profit as 110. That's why I said that it may give incorrect result when we solve it using the greedy approach. So now the question is how we can apply the dynamic programming. So before going to the dynamic programming, let us try to find out that how I can define the problem, what will be the recurrence relation, what will be the functions, and then we will be step by step going to the dynamic programming approach. So instead of 0 by 1 knapsack, I am writing it as a function, that is 0 1 ks, that is 0 by 1 knapsack m and n. So this m and n is the nothing but m is the capacity of bag and n is nothing but number of objects. So this is what I written, that the output of this function will be the maximum profit we will be getting from 0 by 1 knapsack problem where capacity is m and object is n. So this is a notation I am using to write down the function and recurrence relation. So what will be the recurrence relation first? So start with the smallest problem and go to the max possible case. So one case is if either m or n is equal to 0. If any of these value is equals to 0, that means if m is equals to 0, that means there is no capacity in bag, that means you cannot take any object, right? And if n is equals to 0, then also it says that there is no object. So if you have capacity in bag, then also you cannot take any object because there is no object. So this is the meaning of this particular line. That means if m or n, any of one is 0, then output will be 0. Next, this says that this second line says that if the weight of the object, weight of n is more than m, then I will be skipping it. What is the meaning of this m comma n minus 1? Skipping it. How? See, if I take this particular object 3 and I increase the capacity from 4 to 14. So if I increase the capacity from 4 to 14, then the weight of this particular object, the weight of 3 is 14, which is greater than the capacity. That means I cannot take it. So what I will be doing is I will be just ignoring this particular object from the input. So this is what I did here. 10 comma 2, because I am ignoring this particular object 3 because it is having more capacity than I take, and in 0 by 1 knapsack it is not allowed to take in fraction, so I am completely leaving it. And then now next thing is if the weight of that particular object is less than m, so I am just making it again as 4. So if this is 4, that means I can take it, so it is allowed to take it. But in 0 by 1 knapsack we have to find out all the possible solutions. So what we will be doing is we will be, in first case I will be leaving it, and in other case I will be taking it. Like you can see here, in some cases I left it, in some cases I took it. So here see that maximum of, because we will be taking maximum profit, like here we took the maximum, that is 120 sorry, so 120 is the maximum. So in the first case I will be taking it, in the second case I will be skipping it. So 0 by 1 knapsack, m minus weight of n, that means 10 minus 4, 10 minus 4, whatever the capacity is remaining, that means 6, n minus 1, because I took this object, therefore 2. So in the next step it will be 6 comma 2 if I took this particular question. So this is one possibility. Then we'll add the profit, which is 50. That means I included it in the output. Another possibility is I will skip this particular thing. I will skip it and I will compute for 10 comma 2. If I ignore it, and I can compute for this comma this. So these are the three possible cases which can occur while solving this 0 by 1 knapsack problem, right? Now let's try to understand that how we can write a function or how we can formulate it into the algorithm or into the program. So here you can see that here I have written a program without using the dynamic programming. So let's see how this particular function works. So this is the recurrence relation. So the same way the recurrence relation are written, in the same way I wrote down this particular function. How? 0 by 1 knapsack m comma n, if m or n equals to, return this 0, right? Else if the weight of the object is greater than m, right, then skip, because I am removing that object. Else if this is not the case, I am storing the first one in A and the second one in B, and then I am taking maximum of both, right? So this is the program. Now let's try to understand this with help of an example. So here I took an example with object 5 and back capacity as 22. So now let's try to run this particular program, right? So I will be writing as 0 by 1 knapsack m comma n, where m is 22 and n is 5. So in the first case, from here it is 19 comma 4, that means I am just taking this particular object. So if I take object number 5, that means I have to subtract this 3 from the capacity, because I took it, I kept it in my bag. So if I kept it in my bag, then bag will be having 22 minus 3, that means 19 capacity, and one object has been taken, so object left is 4. That's why it is 0 by 1 knapsack 19 comma 4. Another possibility is I just ignore this particular object, because there may be a case that I will be getting the best solution by considering these 4 objects only. So this is 22 and n minus 1, which is nothing but this. So here I used this particular case, and here I used this particular case. So similarly in the left hand I am taking that particular object, in the right hand I am skipping that particular object, right? So now if I remove this, I am having 19 by 4, and in 19 by 4 the next object is having weight as 9. So I took this particular object also and kept it in my bag. So if I kept it in my bag, then I have to subtract the capacity. That means I took 9, the earlier capacity was 19. Now if I kept this 9 kg object into my bag, the new capacity will be 10, and one object is gone, so the n value is 3. Here there may be a case this object does not give me the correct answer, so I removed or ignored this particular object 4, right? So the value is 19 comma 3, which is n minus 1. So similar way I expanded this particular tree. So I have not expanded for some of the places because of the space, but you can expand it, right? Now after this particular thing, you can see that this is a particular function which can be solved in constant amount of time, but in the next level it has been divided into 2 parts, and the individual parts can be solved in constant amount of time. In the third level, you can see that it has been divided into 4 parts. So I can write 4 as 2 to the power 2 into c, because all can be solved in constant amount of time. For the next level, that is 4th level, I can write it as 2 to the power 3, because they are 8. So I can write 8 as 2 to the power 3 and c. Similarly, if there are n levels, for this particular tree, it will go maximum up to 5 levels. So if there are n number of objects, then how we can find out the time complexity? Time complexity will be nothing but c plus 2c plus 2 square c up to 2 to the power n into c, and if I take c common, this will be nothing but 1 plus 2 square 2 to the power n c. It can be solved using the increasing GP series formula. So it will be nothing but 2 to the power n minus 1 upon 2 minus 1, which will be equal to 2 to the power n. So the time complexity without using dynamic programming is order of 2 to the power n, right? Now I have to find out the space complexity. So I already told you in the previous videos that space is nothing but input plus extra, right? Here the input is nothing but how many values? N bits. because to store this I will be requiring n bit, and how much extra I will be taking, because there are n levels, so I will be taking n stack space to solve this recursive call function calls. So the space complexity will be order of n. So this is without using dynamic programming. What if you use dynamic programming? So now let's see. Here you can see one thing, that in the recursive tree that I have, in this particular recursive tree, many functions call are again repeating. So in the recursive tree, some functions call are repeating, therefore we can go to the dynamic programming approach. So if there is any such case when functions call are repeating again and again, this is a hint that you can use dynamic programming approach to minimize the time or to solve the problem in less time. So here you can see that this 10,2 is repeated. Similarly, if you expand it completely, you will be observing that there are repetitions at some places. Here you can see that this 19,2 is repeated, right? This 3,1 is repeated. This 10,1 is repeated. So similarly, there will be some functions which are repeating again and again. And in dynamic programming approach, we already know that we have to compute each function call exactly once, and then we'll be storing that particular function into a table for future references. Now the question arises is how many distinct function call are possible in 0x1 knapsack. So if there are m comma n element, that means if capacity is m and n is number of object. Let's talk about this example only, where the capacity is 22 and the n is 25. So we have to check for this particular m, I have to check for all the possible values of n. Similarly for 21, similarly for 20, and so on up to 1. That means for m values I have to check n times. Therefore we can say that there will be m plus 1 comma n plus 1 function call, because it will be 0 also at one place, right? So if there are m plus 1 and n plus 1 functions call, discrete functions call, and each function will be taking constant amount of time to solve it, so can I say that the time complexity will be order of mn? Yes. So you can see that the time complexity has been somewhat reduced from 2 to the power n to m comma m into n. Now similarly, if I talk about the space complexity, so this is what time complexity. If I talk about the space, here also input plus extra, input will be nothing but n bytes. In extra I have to take care of stack and table that I require to store. So stack will be taking n plus 1 unit, which is nothing but n byte only, and table will be requiring m by n size. For table we require m by n size. So here the space complexity is order of m comma n. So space complexity is reduced, increased, but the time complexity you can say is somewhat equivalent to 2 to the power n, because there is not much difference between 2 to the power n. That was the time complexity without using dynamic programming. This is using the dynamic programming. So there is a very important note which can be asked in gate questions or any other important questions, that in the recursive tree, I showed you this particular recursive tree. So in this recursive tree, you might have observed that very few functions was repeating. Here very few functions was repeating, because of which time complexity is also somewhat equivalent. So this order of 2 to the power which we get without using the dynamic programming is equivalent of order of m into n, which we got using the dynamic programming. So this is somewhat equivalent. Because we are not able to reduce the time, we can say that this problem is a non-complete problem, non-polynomial complete problem, because of this particular 0 by 1 is known as one of the non-polynomial complete problem. That means it is a problem which cannot be solved in a polynomial time, right? So this is how we can find out everything about the knapsack problem. That means 0 by 1 knapsack problem, right? In the next video we'll be discussing some previous year gate questions on 0 by 1 knapsack problem. And if you find out this particular video useful, if you really got benefit from this particular video, please like the particular video and provide me your feedback in the comment section. If you like the video, if you appreciate my effort, please mention those in comment box. And if there is any suggestion or feedback, you can also mention that particular in the comment box so that I can improve myself for you guys. So thank you very much for watching, and in case if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you can get an update whenever I am uploading any new video. So thank you very much for watching. Keep supporting, keep learning. Have a great day.